because the other day I said, you know what? In a couple years, nobody is going to call him Simone Biles' husband. They'll call me Jonathan Owens' wife.
Speaking of, I don't know if you...
Hi everybody, it's Sandra. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Sandra Said What. So today I want to talk to you about Simone Biles' husband, Jonathan Owens, who is getting a lot of flack for an interview he did stating that he is the prize in the relationship, in every relationship that he's been in, and men essentially are the prize. Simone Biles is a famous, they say the greatest of all time, American gymnast. Her husband, who did an interview and is catching a lot of flack for something he says. Let's take a listen.
So don't get into no long shit, bro. I gotta ask you, man. God damn, y'all boys scared. Bro, as us pretty red dimes as we are, how in the hell did you pull Simone Biles? I love this football talk, bro. I gotta get to it. I'm over here rubbing my knees trying to ask this.
Hey, Chad, I wanted to tell him, he's talking about being looked over. Now when the right people look at you. You know what I'm saying?
How did you do that, bro?
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man. That's the question.
Oh,
man.
Lord Jesus. Now you with Freddie. Now it's back. now you
listen, I'm gonna tell you organic story, man. So I just got to Houston. I probably have been in Houston 7 months. I was single at the time, you know, so I'm just living, me and myself. And COVID had just hit, but I had just went to Arizona, and one of my boys are like, hey man, you gotta check out this app, you know? And I'm like, I'll check it out. Like, what is it? It was called Raya at the time. So basically it's like a dating app, but you know, you have to go through certain like criteria to make sure that you're who you are. So literally have been on the app for a couple of days, man. And it's like, she pops up and I'm like, let me see what this is. Gymnastics. I ain't never, you know, I never really paid attention to gymnastics. So it piqued my curiosity, you know, so I'm like, okay, I'll see what's up. I swiped her and it said we matched. So I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna see what's up. So I go do my workout and I come back and I get like, I had some likes on my Instagram, you know, and I'm like, oh, this might be it. I'm like, okay. So I see what's up, and then I still waited. I'm like, man, I'm gonna wait till I, you know, take a shower and everything. Then I come back to my phone, and then she messages me on the app, like, hey, you know what I mean? And I'm, man, this gotta be fake. Like, I don't know. I didn't know who she was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she gotta be good. I promise you, I'm a real life story. When she won the Olympics, I was in college, and we didn't have NBC, we didn't have Olympic channels, and we're in camp. Late July, early August, so I'm not paying attention to, you know, so I never would have had a moment to where I would have watched, like, you know.
Jonathan, I'm gonna let you finish your story, man. Continue.
But like I was saying, man, she messaged me. This was like a Tuesday, and we texting back and forth, and then we hung out Friday, man. And we couldn't do much as COVID happened, everything was shut down. So she came through down to Houston. She lived in the suburbs, so she had to drive about 45 minutes to me. Then the rest is history, man. So
you was really the catch in.
I always say the man the catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Yeah, so she really booked you.
She did though.
Is what you're saying?
Cause I was fighting it.
So in truth, if I say this out loud, was Jonathan Owens ain't really want Simone Biles. Is what you're saying?
At the time, I'm not gonna say that.
That's what you're saying.
I was afraid. I was afraid to commit. I'm like, man, this is my third year. You know, I'm trying to. I'm like, it's kind of early. But you know, like I said, man, it happened when you least expected. And we hung out, man. It was like we hit it off instantly. You know, we just laughed the whole night. Man, play. Look, go ahead.
I really want to talk about football. Did you tell her you didn't know who she was?
Actually, my question to her was like, who's your competition? I didn't know nothing about gymnastics, so I'm just asking.
Nobody.
Yeah, and that's what she's like. She told me like myself. That's the most vivid memory I have of that. She was like myself. I'm like, nah, for real. Like, who do you compete with? She's like, you know, myself. Is because most of the time it comes down to if I mess up or not. And I'm like, and the moment where I knew she was the real deal, we were going to. I think she had a gym invitational.
No, it was milk and cookies.
I was
milk and cookies before that.
Yo, went to get
milk and cookies, and
cookie spot in Houston, the number one rated cookie spot.
Number one rated cookie spot, and it was so many. I think it was like a Sunday we went. It was all these moms, and you know they're there with their kids, and we walked past, and everybody stopped and just. Kids are like shaking. It was like, oh my God, and I'm like,
you thought it's because you thought you were fine, huh?
Man, nah. This is funny. They asking me. They like, here, can you take this picture? And I'm like,
So Jay, what you're doing right now is confirming that she is actually the best in the world at flipping the script.
She flipped.
She shot her shot.
She did though. Because if she wouldn't have messaged me, chances are like I probably wouldn't have. I probably would just mine would have went somewhere else and wouldn't have thought to, you know. But she messaged me, and I mean, like I said, the rest is history, man.
Honestly, in truth, Simone Biles is lucky.
For what?
Because she took a chance. She lucky because she wouldn't have all that. Jonathan said she wouldn't have all that.
Hey, now.
Because he had time.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. We matched. I was just the first to message. As soon as I clicked, ooh, I like him, it matched. So he had already liked my profile, which that means
She
I was just
always
the
say
first.
we match
No,
first.
baby, we matched, but I was the first to message.
Yeah, you
I wasn't
messaged me.
scared.
She messaged. She wasn't scared. She wasn't scared. I
See,
give it that.
I know what I like and I know what I want.
Y'all are young newlyweds. Don't let people bring that shit in y'all house. Don't let this man do that. Don't do that.
I'm not trying to bring them shit nowhere, Freddie. This man's a hell of a safety.
She's
He
only
will
the best on
never
the
be
planet.
as good as a safety as this little motherfucker is as a gymnast. You agree, bro?
You know what? He might, because the other day I said, you know what? In a couple years, nobody is gonna call him Simone Biles' husband. They'll call me Jonathan Owens' wife.
Speaking of, I don't know if you
That's
saw
so
it.
So as you heard, Jonathan, that's his name, basically stated that not only is he the prize in the relationship, that pretty much all men are the prize in the relationships, and that Simone Biles practically wore him down like Miss Parker did Professor Ogilvy. So he's been getting a lot of flack from not only her supporters, but just everybody online saying, first of all, what do you mean you're the prize? Men are the prize. She is the famous one. She's obviously more famous than you. She has more money than you, and likely more talented than you, because she's considered to be the greatest of all time in what she does. So what exactly do you mean? And Simone Biles has even came out to defend her husband, saying that people want her to be insecure. She's not going to be insecure. And he made a post responding to what was said, saying that they are basically locked in. And she commented on the post saying basically they are for life. A lot of people are upset about what he said, but it seems like Simone Biles is quite comfortable in her state in the relationship with what's going on, because even though it seemed that she was a bit embarrassed that what he was saying, you know, made her feel uncomfortable, because you could tell the interviewers, they were kind of like feeling awkward and trying to give him hints and try to redirect him, but he wasn't having it. He's a young man. He also says that he didn't even know about Simone Biles, which I find hard to believe, because I believe he plays football, and if you are in the America period, it's hard to miss the Simone Biles, especially with everything going on with the Olympics. And also, if you're in the world of sports specifically, I'm sure you know about the greatest gymnast of all time currently living. So I do find that hard to believe. But according to him, he didn't know her. They were on a dating app. She messaged him first. She drove to see him, and it wasn't until they started going out that, you know, people were recognizing her, and he was like, oh, I guess this is I done caught a big fish and not even know it. But I think even though people are upset with what's going on, people have to realize that a lot of people are humans, right? They will make bad decisions. They will look back on their relationships. Maybe they never will look back on their relationship and say, ooh, I shouldn't have done that. But I have a strong feeling that she's going to look back on it and regret the decision to marry this guy. But despite how we may feel about what he says, I would not be surprised if Simone Biles herself has told this man that he is the prize. Or when he says he is the prize, she confirms it. Because essentially, according to him, what he's saying is that she wined and dined me, and basically she treated me like I was the one to be courted. She courted him, right? And let's take into account that a lot of people seem to find him attractive. He's not a bad looking guy, but a lot of people also feel like he's more attractive than her. And I don't think she's a bad looking woman, but she is a very tiny woman. She's like 4'11" or something. And you know, that comes with a lot of insecurity, especially in the social media world. And not to mention that colorism does play a big role in the black community, as far as who's attractive and who's not attractive. And not just the black community in America, it's worldwide, and it's not just within black communities, it's everywhere that people seem to have this idea that lighter skin tone is somehow more attractive, right? Like I said, I don't think she's unattractive at all, but I do feel like that internally she may feel like, yeah, I did get the prize, and may feel, like I said, may have even told him that he is the prize, and not only told him he's the prize, and made him feel like he's the prize. I mean, it is what it is. It does seem like a lot of young people do make mistakes, right? Let alone when these young people are in such high positions and in the public eye on social media, where social media is just another world, right? But what makes a young woman who's so accomplished feel that, you know, I need to go and chase a man, I need to go pay for a man, I need to go buy a man? It comes with a lot of insecurities. I'm not familiar with her background. I'm not familiar with the relationships that she's seen. I'm not familiar with her treatment, not just in the Olympics as a black woman, a darker skinned person, but her treatment, you know, just when she was growing up and the way she looked and whatever. So I'm sure to her, she feels like, ooh, I'm not only am I going to get this cash, but if I do have kids, they won't have to look like me. They'll look something better, maybe a closer version of their father. Or I'll make sure both of us, and that will help my case. Like I said, this is all my opinion, but this is just what I think. We do see that a lot of young people tend to make mistakes when you consider the Halle Baileys of the world, you know, Little Mermaid remake, Star. We're going to talk about that in another video. And then you have Keke Palmer's of the world, you know, such a young, famous, rich, and talented person, right? And she seemed to be outspoken, all this and that, but she was in an abusive relationship for years. And not only was she in an abusive relationship for years, we talked about this in another video, she was in an abusive relationship for years. Then despite all the signs of the abuse occurring in the past, she still went on to have a child by this man. And Halle Bailey, like I said, we're going to talk about that in another video. And then you take Naomi Osaka, who is now having, I don't know if that she's having regrets about having a child with her son, but she was literally the #1 Haitian Japanese tennis player, right? She was the #1 Haitian Japanese tennis player. And she, at the peak of her career, left that to go have a child by a man who did not see her fit to stay with, or whatever the situation may be. I think a lot of these people, they are, again, young. They have a lot of money. So when people have money, they tend to be the ones to make the decisions. And they do have a lot of yes people around them that co-sign their decisions, even if they're bad decisions. And, even when people do tell them that they're making bad decisions, they're grown. They can afford the life they want. And nobody can really tell them anything. And they only live to regret the decisions that they make, except their decisions are on a much bigger platform. It's on a different level because every eye is on them. Everyone has an opinion on them. Everyone is commenting on their relationships daily. And sometimes that even makes it worse, because then they feel they need to stand their ground and reinforce their state, because despite intentions, yes, intentions may be good, but a lot of the times people online don't have good intentions for these people, so they don't even consider anything as good most of the time. So they're like, it's my life, I'm going to do what I want to do, you can't tell me how to live my life. Like I said, we do have prominent women who make decisions to marry the worst of the worst men. They're rich, they're beautiful, they're smart, they're talented, yet they go on to make these bad decisions. It's human nature. Again, there has to be something intricately wrong psychologically for someone to feel like, as a woman, you carry a womb. And I'm not saying that lightly. That means you can give birth. And with giving birth also comes, you know what I mean? It's a strong possibility. So the fact that this man doesn't even see her as the prize. I don't know if they have a prenup or not. I hope she does have a prenup, because it could be that he stick around for a couple of years, then ask for alimony. We know what happened with Halle Berry and other and other celebrities who've been in these types of relationships where they date men who are making less than them, only to end up taking care of them later on, because the man never really wanted to be there in the first place. It was just the money that attracted them. So Simone Biles I have a strong feeling she's going to learn in the future. You know what? This was actually a very embarrassing moment, and I regret that he said that. Maybe I shouldn't have married him. But you know what? It is what it is. There's nothing we can do. They're already married. She seems to be sticking by her man. And like I said, there has to be something wrong. You have to have some serious insecurities to let a man tell you that I'm the prize in the relationship. Come again, please. You the what? I'm the prize in the relationship. And this man, you know what? And it's more than just man versus woman type of conversation, because when a man truly loves a woman and values a woman, in his mind, this is my prize. You are my prize. I value you so much that I see you as the prize. And to be so accomplished and to be married to a man who still doesn't see you as the prize, in my opinion, is one of the worst decisions you can ever make, because that will dictate his behavior towards you, and you may not see it now. You will live to regret it. But anyways, you guys, I would love to know your opinion on this situation. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. What do you think about what I said? Please agree or disagree respectfully, and be sure to click that subscribe button before you leave, and that like button, so you can get us into the algorithm. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.